What's up, chaps and chapettes? Welcome back to another episode of a tactical analysis type thing. Having a look at Jose Mourinho's tactics, and then basically just going into FIFA and just trying to recreate those tactics. So in this case, we're actually playing in FUT Champions. I've already made a Jose Mourinho video before, but this time we're going to just be flexing up in modern day FUT Champs, you know. So the two strikers have got to stay forward, getting behind. Maybe a bit of a weird choice going for Mbirchy, but I do like to have one striker that's a bit of a target man, almost like with Atletico Madrid. They obviously got Griezmann and Diego Costa up top. Diego Costa kind of to hold the ball up and play it on for Griezmann. So we've got comeback on defense on the left mid and right mid, stay back while attacking on the two CDMs, and stay back while attacking on the left back and right back. So you could actually have a different attacking variant where the left back and right back are on balance. Sometimes you want to get them forward a little bit. And then also you could have a defensive variant where the two strikers could be come back on defense as well. So if you wanted to make an attacking and defensive different version of this tactical sort of the tactics that we have, then you just want to be doing that, like a slight little adjustments. So I mean, a lot of the time the play is basically going to be just sort of sitting your CDMs in the middle, soaking up the pressure. And then as soon as you get the ball, you want to try and be getting it up to your strikers. And one of the reasons why, in terms of counter-attacking play, this formation is so good is just because you always have your strikers to aim for, because they are always going to be up the pitch. You're going to be able to do like a driven pass all the way to Mbirchy, hold up the play, and instantly, you know, Jesus is making a run. You've got the left mid making a run, right mid making a run, and just create those quick 4v4s and often overloads, especially if they bring forward like the left back or the right back on an attack. So you're just basically going to be sitting, like I say, just sitting nice and deep and then counter-attacking. So Mbirchy is actually pretty sick. I'm not going to lie. Like, he's actually doing bits for me, although he's not even a rare card, I'm pretty sure. He's got like 87 heading, 6'3" as well. He's just like a classic OG FIFA card. So as you can see, a lot of the time, we're just sort of giving it to him on the counter-attack. This time, we don't quite manage to get through, but he's an absolute monster. And the only goals that this guy seemed to score, it's just when I gave it away in the middle of the park. So you just want to be making sure that you're not making silly mistakes trying to pass it around in the middle. And the worst place to give it away ultimately is in the middle of the pitch, because then they're going to be able to play it straight through the to the strikers and then obviously get a shot on goal. So we're 2-1 down at this point, and we need to get back in the game. And look at all these sort of LBA passes. This is what you want to be doing a lot of. The LBA passes just to get sort of multiple runs headed in behind, out wide, as well as through the middle as well. So 4-4-2. One of the reasons why, I mean, so many teams, even if they're playing like a 4-3-3 and stuff like that, if you watch a tactical analysis video of a lot of teams, you'll see that they do divert to the 4-4-2 in the defensive phase, just because it is the formation which pretty much covers the highest percentage of the pitch. You've got the two strikers applying pressure from the front. You've got the left mid and right mid that can track back, but also just covering the flanks. Two centre mids, obviously, in the middle. So two backs of four, just very, very good for defending. And Jose Mourinho's used it quite a lot, especially this is based off Real Madrid back in the day. I think it was whenever Jose Mourinho was managing them. I can't remember when, probably like 2011, 2012, I think. And he would basically just sit them sort of in a unit, interchange between the 4-2-3-1 and the 4-4-2. So it is very much an option, especially in build-up, if you can't break them down quickly, to use the 4-2-3-1. But the reason I chose the 4-4-2 is having a look at different tactical analysis videos. You can see that on the break, they are definitely using the 4-4-2, having those two strikers up top just to get the ball up the pitch really quick. And also in the defensive phase, they are using the 4-4-2 as well, just as, like I say, it does cover the majority of the pitch. So we're getting some good results here. I'm not going to lie, you know. I think this is, what, 2 wins out of 2 games on the bounce, just like that. This guy using a 4-3-3. Decent Premier League team. You know, he's got the likes of Mane. My guy, I think he's got a purple Lucas out wide. Don't know how much he cost back in the day. I don't know whether I should have got him. I mean, I don't know whether I've already said this, but obviously this isn't on my road to glory. This is just on my second account, where I like to just make tactical analysis sort of videos, trying out different tactics, real-life manager tactics and stuff like that. And I just think Mourinho's have always been one of the most interesting to me. Obviously, very solid defensively, and the counter-attacks, I just like, it's like the famous vibes of a counter-attack, like when you see Chelsea versus Liverpool, when Mourinho put out a pretty shocking team back when he was Chelsea manager, and then he would just like have Demba Ba as Steven Gerrard, the classic Slippy G type vibe. Demba Ba running on in behind, gets the goal, And obviously just being a super solid team, super frustrating to break down. I remember when they went to Arsenal, Chelsea against Arsenal, and they were literally, I think it was just a 0-0 game, and it was such a dead game. But, you know, sometimes you have to kind of grind the games out. And as much, I mean, it ultimately depends on how sweaty you want to play it, really. I mean, you can go for the counter-attacks to get the goals, and if you do find yourself in the lead, then you could just, like, see the game out, ultimately, if you wanted to do that. I think one problem is too many people see Jose Mourinho as just, like, park the bus manager, whereas he is, like, just like any manager, really, a lot of managers, he is very sort of adaptive based on who he's playing and, like, nullifying players out of a game. Like, say, if you see someone like De Bruyne or David Silva, the creators in the team, he'll identify who those players are, and then he'll say mark them out the game with Matic or someone like that with Man United. So he is one of the top managers, although obviously, I don't know, he seems to have that thing where it's like, it gets to the later point of being in a club and everyone almost just gets annoyed of it or something. Like, it just starts to go a bit stale. But he's seen plenty of success, so you can't really knock him. Like, he's just been able to do some absolute miracles. Like, when I think he won the Champions League with Inter Milan, beating the likes of Barcelona. I mean, it was just an absolute miracle, to be quite honest with you. So, you know, top manager, and we've got the top tactics in game, and it seems to be working really well. And I think this game is like, because in-behind runs are so good, especially the sort of LB in-behind runs, I think that it just makes the gameplay sort of, the gameplay just sort of works really well for the tactic. And although, you know, some people might say, you know, pace isn't as overpowered, it definitely is. If anything, I'm almost tempted to say it's been, I wouldn't say it's more powerful than it's ever been, but it's like, in terms of through balls, they're definitely a big part of the game. It's just, obviously, when you're dribbling with the ball for an extended period of time, you are going to see quite a hindrance in your pace. But in terms of just playing the ball in behind, then you are going to be able to catch people out on the counter-attack quite a lot, especially people that play quite a high line. If you're playing a high line on FIFA at the moment, it just seems like you are just going to get absolutely demolished unless your pressure play is incredibly good. So, with 4 wins out of 4, you know, this team's, it's not really worth that much. I could do it with a much cheaper team, to be honest. Like, I think I've done it with, what was the other team I made? I think it was, like, Marega from Porto, I think, up top with Inaki Williams. And on the counter, it was just absolutely disgusting. I've beat, like, teams of icons and stuff just because I was catching them out in the counter-attack. And that's another thing about this sort of tactic, is that you can beat players who are a lot better than you at the game, and also better teams as well. Because at the end of the day, if you can soak up that pressure and then just sort of catch them on the counter-attack and defend really well, you know, I think the best way to play against better teams is to just have that defensive mindset in a way and just be patient. And that is ultimately what you have to do. I mean, we're only 1 goal in to this game in the 77th minute. We've been very patient. We wait for the opening, and eventually the opening does come on the counter-attack. Felipe Anderson obviously got the pace out wide as left mid, and we get the goal on the break once again. So they are lethal counter-attacks, which a lot of players just can't seem to handle. So 5 wins out of the 5 games that we did play with the team. So make sure to leave a like if you want to see more of this type of video. And I'll see you on the next one. Oof. Sitting pretty at the tippity top, and we flexing. Oof. Apply the pressure like Jurgen Klopp, team pressing. Oof. It's plain to see you ain't no Messi, chap. Why you messing? Oof. So funny, you're one big joke, like a flippin' spoof. Gonna have to show me that you're worthy. Got the 4-3-1, we sitting cozy, standing sturdy.